The George Floyd thing, COVID, it brought a lot of, you see who people are when shit get rough, I guess, because none of this shit is rough to me. But these people are rich dudes that usually live in states where there's no like COVID mask mandate, there's none of that kind of shit, right? Out in Midwest, wherever, where nobody cares about the shit.
Right.
But they got all the issues. They're so angry. They're like, why, bro, you rich. Your life is so good. Y'all don't even wear masks out there. Like, why are you so angry? You know what I'm saying?
But, you know what? I'm going to play God's advocate on this one, too. The one thing I can respect about people who get angry about the idea of rights, that they got a connection to, right, the idea of freedom.
Right.
Having control over their body and their mind, right? They don't want their freedoms to be encumbered upon or infringed upon by any ruling class. And there's different type of ruling classes.
Right.
Because then you got people that'll follow the classics of the constitutional law, and then you got people that want to upend it and create a whole new type of government.
Right.
And so internally there's a civil war that's happening in America.
Right.
Right? I think that we don't get angry enough when things happen. You understand me?
See, I think this is the thing though, bro.
We get angry only at death. For the most part.
Nah, here's the thing though. Let's say I'm gonna use an example of the mask, right? And I feel you. Like, you know, I am very fortunate. One thing that this past 2 years have shown me was, I remember there was a time that I was thinking about getting an apartment in Sydney, Australia, right? I think it's fly here. Like the English speaking countries, I have a lot of fun, right? But the weather's good, all of that. But I see like, nah, them niggas ain't free at all. You know what I'm saying? And then when you look at like, there's only 3 countries in the world that people have a constitutional right to have weapons. America, Mexico, and somewhere else in South America. But Mexico and South America is like they barely can, you know what I'm saying? We're like the only country in the world that can walk around with firearms, right? That have a constitutional right, you feel me? So it's like, we got different types of freedom here. So I'm with you on that. But these people that I'm talking about, it ain't just that they're pissed about too, but they also say shit like, let's say like, and I don't give a fuck about, like, I'm not a political dude at all, but they talk about the January 6th insurrection, right? And they'll talk about like how it wasn't an insurrection, it was like a glorified field trip. But let it be a George Floyd riot.
Oh yeah, nah.
You know what I'm saying? They drawing parallels. I'm like, my nigga, like, really?
Yeah.
But one thing about blacks,
that's delusional.
Right, they're delusional. One thing about us not tripping about certain things is because, let's say masks, right? I'm like, I'm not wearing no fucking mask, right? So I'll do whatever I need. We know how to
circumnavigate.
We've always had to do it all our lives, so it ain't that big of a deal to us.
Right.
It ain't like we just stuck now. I don't know what to do.
But that's the problem though, is that we're used to not having our full rights. We used to not having natural rights.
And still having access to shit.
Right.
And doing shit.
That's not how it's supposed to be. We're not supposed to get used to those conditions.
That's true.
And they don't want to get used to being treated like we are.
Right.
Like the moment they gotta feel like a minority in the country, that's when they're willing to go up in arms.
That's interesting. I'm glad you said that, bro, because I didn't even think about that perspective.
Yeah.
That's
like,
real shit.
look about voting rights. Voting rights, you got to give people voting rights. Why don't we naturally have them as people?
Yeah.
Because they had to create voting right acts for a subset, a group of people who the Constitution wasn't made for in the first place.
Right.
Because they don't consider us to be natural citizens, especially under color codes, black, civil mortars. We can go into that.
But they didn't even
but that's how it works.
consider us humans.
No, three-fifths. That Dred Scott decision was proof of it. So it's like, we operate from this place that, we operate from a place of liberty, not freedom. You understand me? It's the place where if you got 3 different types of people, right? If you take a slave and you put him in a cage, in a little 5x5, small, and then one day master says that, listen, I'm gonna let you in the field, you keep acting right. You understand me? Don't be out here tripping and yelling and like you being tortured in here. I need you to be peaceful while you in here.
Right.
I'm gonna open the cage and let you in the field. So that slave's like, man, that seems like a better, you understand me, place to be. I get liberty, I get to move around more.
Right.
So now he gets to go work in the field, right? But the guys in the field is like, bruh, man, fuck this shit, man, we wanna leave. He's like, bruh, I just came from the cage, y'all got it good, right?
Sure.
And then you got a runaway that be like, you know what, fuck all this field shit, I'm about to leave, and I'm about to go find me some freedom, right? So, but instead, what if master say, you know what? Instead of just being in the field, I'm gonna let y'all roam the rest of the state. Now, hey, before y'all leave, y'all still work for me. I need y'all pay. Y'all signing this contract, y'all still work for me, but you get more liberty.
Right.
It's always gonna be a small group of them that say, fuck all of this. I want true and complete freedom.
Right. That's real.
I don't want to work for you. I don't want just liberty. I want to be able to control my mind, my will, my time, everything.
Right.
And those small group of people are gonna be seen crazy, like they messing it up for everybody else. Right? And so it's certain amount of people that have that spirit. That it's not about how much liberty you give me. It ain't no comparison from my last place of prison or somebody else's condition. Is that as a human being, I know that my natural human right is to be able to be unencumbered. You understand me? It's to be able to move and have full control over my mind and willpower.
Right.
So it's different people that will accept liberty, and some people only accept true freedom.
Right.
And when we come to slavery, there's no degree to it. If you are a slave at any degree, you're still a slave.
Right.
So there's certain people who will only accept true mastery of self, which is true freedom. You understand me? And that's that place that we have to say, that's the ultimate goal. That we not stop until we get there. We might celebrate, we got a little further, we got a little further on the journey. Right? Let's stop and get some rest. The rest is the celebration.
Yeah.
But we not celebrating until we get the full fruition of it. And our people gotta have that full vision. But we lack vision to know what the destination is in the first place.
Well, we have to do what you're doing now. We have to give them the vision, right? Because generally speaking, collectively, people don't know what they want or need, you know? And that's no knock to people. Life is hard, you know what I'm saying? And people gotta make money, pay the bills, look after their kids, try not to get fired, you know what I'm saying? So they're not thinking about these things. They're thinking about, man, paying rent.
But that's the rat race. If I can get you to think about these small problems forever, right? So
that it's a brilliant but evil strategy.
Yeah. The mind, right, can't think far and long distance, right? When you got to think of short-term problem.
Right.
If I got to think about everything next week, that is as far as my mind will allow me to think. It's going to shut off at a certain point. Right. The mind not even trained to really think about the future in those terms. So you have to train the brain to become a futurist and a visionary. It's not a natural thing. That's why so much you get so many visionaries inside a culture on the planet at a certain time. Otherwise, everybody will be thinking about the future. No. So when you got people that's stuck at, Maslow's pyramid, you got people that's just trying to survive. And then you got a visionary telling them, well, let's focus on this technology. Let's focus on building these institutions. Let's focus on doing this. They're like, man, I'm trying to get to next week. I can't even start devising strategies and plans to evaluate that's valuable for me.
It's still the visionary's obligation to still figure out how to plant that seed, to put that medicine in the ice cream. You know what I'm saying? Because like I feel like, and I'm sure you probably feel the same, I feel like I could be very persuasive to people without turning them off, without being annoying. You know what I mean? Because with me, I gotta practice it every day in my house with my family. You know what I'm saying? Getting people to do this and do that. So, and in my profession, like when I used to be a trainer in the gym, these are people who didn't have a lot of extra money. I had to convince them to give me money to help me so I can get them in better shape so they don't die too fast.
My graduates from my school being Forbes, bag drop.
Bag drop.
A mic drop, bag drop.
Bag drop.